Hello, Klein families and community. I hope this message finds you safe at home and healthy and taking good care of yourself and others. In these difficult times, I know how hard it is for us to be apart, and students, how hard it is for you to be away from your friends and your community at school. And so I'm going to ask all of us, as an act of love and sacrifice for our Klein ISD community, especially the most vulnerable among us, and for your sake as well, as the best way to protect yourself and others from potential harm caused by COVID-19, please continue to practice physical distancing and to follow the orders and the guidelines given to us by local officials and medical experts. These days, the best way to keep Klein safe, the best way to be Klein strong, the best way to take good care of one another is simply to stay apart so that we can all be together again soon. As we head into this holiday weekend, I wanted to share a few words of gratitude and to focus on the grace that we all need to endure this challenging situation. Every morning I get up and I'm so grateful for the healthcare workers and the first responders in our community, many of whom are Klein ISD parents, some of whom are graduates of Klein ISD, and for others in our community who are providing essential services to keep things moving, from stocking shelves in grocery stores to manning the takeout counters at local restaurants. I add to that list in Klein ISD our school nurses, our Klein Police Department, plant ops, our food service workers who have served over 100,000 meals at curbside pickup to date, our IT department who've distributed thousands of laptops to families without them, our bus drivers who have delivered nearly 5,000 backpacks full of food and lessons to some of our communities where it's difficult for folks to get to curbside pickup. All of these brave and courageous people who are putting themselves on the front line of this illness. And of course, I'm grateful for our Klein ISD teachers who are working so hard from home, many of them while trying to take care of their own children, and who have had to set up virtual classrooms practically overnight and who are learning every day how to teach and connect with our students in a totally different way. Thank you for the sacrifices that you and your families are making, perhaps more than ever, during this COVID-19 pandemic. I also know that we're all in very different circumstances right now, with over 54,000 students in Klein ISD and over 250,000 people living in our Klein ISD community. That is not surprising, and yet COVID-19 makes those very circumstances that much more challenging. As you all reach out to me and you share your stories, I hear from students whose parents have lost their jobs and now they're helping to put food on the table and pay bills by working 12-hour shifts at a job that used to be a part-time job. As I hear from parents who are experiencing at-home learning in very different ways. Some families who are saying they want more resources for at-home learning. Others have shared with me how absolutely overwhelming it is to try to support their children's needs while working full-time from home. I even had one mom tell me that she was ready at any time to march her teenager right back into school. So what I want you all to know is that when we say that we recognize that there are unique circumstances in every home that may impact a student's ability to learn during this challenging situation, we mean it. At-home learning is not homeschooling. Homeschooling is something that some families choose for their children. It's something that they prepare for. At-home learning is a response to a crisis. None of us chose this. We're all doing our absolute best. And doing our best, whether you're a student or a parent or a teacher, is going to look very different. And that's going to be true, and that is okay. Grace is what we really need to carry us through this difficult moment together. Grace for ourselves, recognizing that we're all very imperfect people who won't always get it all right. And grace for our families, acknowledging that some essential workers are working overtime right now to fight the pandemic, and so they're spending far less time with their children, while others are spending far more time together. And that obviously is both a blessing and can be challenging at times as well. Grace for our teachers, grace for our class of 2020 and their families who are worried about what so many special senior moments will look like in the days to come. And grace for our coworkers who have their own set of challenges that we may or may not be aware of during this crisis. So let's all pause for a moment, take a deep breath, accept that our best effort in this crisis is enough, and that we will all get through this together if we stick together and we extend grace to all. To our families celebrating this weekend, happy Easter, happy Passover. We miss you all, and we look forward to seeing you soon.